everybody, I'm John Casey and welcome to Adelaide for round 2 of the Phillips Championships here on Fox Sports. The 36ers and Townsville clash for the second time in just 5 days. On Saturday night up north, the Crocs got home by 3 in a thriller, and we'll have highlights of that match in just a moment. But first, let's talk to my regular sparring partner, Mr. Steve Carfino. And Steve, these matches are always good, but backing up after 5 days, does that suit either team?
I'd say on a neutral court it would probably suit the team that lost, because they usually come out a little bit more motivation, and the team that comes out usually comes out and makes more adjustments on the losing end. But playing here in Adelaide, that'll probably nullify that. Well,
the last 8 meetings between these two teams have been decided by single figures. Let's look at the highlights from Saturday night, and we saw Townsville get out to a good start early on in the match. It was the Crocs. They led by 11 at half-time, and then Adelaide started to make their move, Steve, and actually hit the front in the last quarter.
Well, I think that there's going to be a lot of lead changes and also a lot of momentum swings, because not only these teams score a lot of points, but they're very emotional, high-powered offenses. So they're going to get going on some emotion. Adelaide's going to get the crowd going behind them. And then Townsville executes so well, so they'll get some spurts going too. And so all those lead changes, and it's going to be a close game, as we've seen with history. We're just going to, I think we're in for a good match, another one.
Yes, and the fans here in Adelaide are looking forward to some quick redemption, remembering that Townsville have only won here 4 times in 16 starts. But of course, it was a thriller up there on Saturday night. Here's the last play of the game, and Adelaide get a 3 off here through Jacob Holmes on the buzzer. That could have brought overtime into the match, but according to the referees, the shot went off after the light, and of course it was waved away. And I guess referees really have to go with a home team in a tight situation like that.
And that's such a tight one, and usually you would think when it's so close, when a shot goes in, you normally would award the basket, but we looked at it like 6 or 7 times. I think they made the right call.
Yes, let's see if we can pick it any closer in slow motion. It does appear that the referees did get it right. Adelaide, well, they'll be disappointed they couldn't get the result, but good play there from Oscar Foreman to keep it alive, and Jacob Holmes proving that a desperation shot on the buzzer sometime is the best shot you can take.
No kidding, and you just can't defend against that. That was a broken play. Brett Maher did a good job of getting a shot off, but then a rebound, a good heads-up play by Darren Ing, getting the basketball to Jacob Holmes. You can't defend those busted plays. You know who's so good at it, the Tigers.
And you mentioned Brett Maher. Well, Brett is closing in on 400 NBL appearances and has certainly been a great servant to this club. He's been to 3 Olympics and, of course, started his career back in 1992. The shorts were a little different back then, and this was the first ever season in this fabulous venue here.
He's just been a great player, and I think if there's been one player that's been consistent in this competition over the years, it's been Brett Maher. He goes about his business quietly, but he has been a great player, time in and time out. He's led the league in free throw shooting. He's led the league in three-point shooting. He's a great shooter. He's a great competitor and a great winner.
And remember, the coach at the time, Don Shipley, took quite a big chance. He sacked Darryl Pearce, the Iceman, a crowd favourite, to bring Brett Maher into this lineup. But Brett Maher has proven him to be a very astute judge, because he's been getting the job done for a long time. 2-time winner, of course, of the grand final MVP.
Well, you think that's a no-brainer now that you know Brett Maher, and he's an established superstar in this league. But Darryl Pearce was a great player, a great Australian player, and did a lot for this franchise. For them to make room for Brett Maher with such a great player was a big gamble. Of course, it's paid off, and you know, history is Brett Maher will be one of the greatest players to ever suit up in this country.
And in this match, we're going to see another very young Adelaide-born youngster, but he's going to be playing for the Townsville Crocodiles. Brad Newley has a great history here in South Australia. His father did a great job with Forestville, the Eagles, in the local competition here. And when Brad was growing up, he got to meet all the stars. Here he is as a 3-year-old back in 1988 with Mark Bradkey when he was wearing the 36ers colours. And this is even better to see him here with his current teammate, Rob Rose, making him look just like a little normal 8-year-old boy, Brad Newley.
Well, he's starting to look like he does now, but what about Rob Rose? He looks exactly the same as he does today. But Newley, like I said, in the news cross, he is the truth. He can do everything. He can stick the outside shot. He loves to turn the corner. He'll dunk on you if he gets the chance. He's going to be a very good defender under the tutelage of Ian Stacker in Townsville. He's got the complete game, and he is a fierce competitor. I can't wait to watch him play for a number of games.
And of course, he's going to be used in tandem with Adam Quick, who has also been recruited to run the point for the Townsville Crocodiles. Ian Stacker has decided youth is the way to go, and he hasn't been afraid to throw these guys in at the deep end.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Adam Quick starts for him. So he has definitely gone with the young guys, and for a coach that has started veteran players and gone with the older guys for so long, for him to just make such a flip-flop and go with these young guys shows you how much faith he has in these young guys, but also shows you how much he loves to teach and going to get these guys up to speed right away.
Well, both Adelaide and Townsville will go with the same starting fives that they had on Saturday night, and Steve's going to tell us about the 36ers.
It's a very exciting starting five. We got Paul Reed back in his hometown where he loves to play. He's a great role player, and they really appreciate his skills. Jacob Holmes, he's looking to get to the next level, looking very confident, most valuable player of the preseason blitz, and the garbage man, Dusty Reichard. He does a great job of overachieving in so many ways. In the backcourt for the Adelaide 36ers, oh, a familiar one and a very fun one to watch. Brett Maher, who feels very comfortable with Willie Farley, probably the most exciting player in the competition. And we saw in those highlights, he can still go. And the benches for the Adelaide 36ers, they'll go with Darren Ing, David Cooper, who's been a great role player for the Brisbane Bullets, most valuable player in New Zealand, Williams, Foreman, Hambor, and then Gower.
And one player we didn't see there was Mark Nash. He has a bulging disc in his back. He's going to consult another neurosurgeon next week, but he may not play at all this year. It'll either be a 6-month operation, which is going to rule him out, or maybe 12 months rehab. So that's a big body blow for the Adelaide 36ers without having Mark Nash. But Townsville, well, they have plenty of loaded players at the moment, a special load of Pat Reedy, who is about 7 weeks away from his return to the game. But John Riley, Casey Calvary and Rob Brown are going to be the starting front court for the Townsville Crocodiles. And their backcourt will Robert Rose and Adam Quick. Experience and youth to combine in the backcourt there for the team coached by Ian Stacker. They made a lot of changes in the off-season, and Robertson, Tregar and Vanderjagt, along with Newley and Derek Moore, who played here with Adelaide a little bit last season. It's a very young team, and good luck to them up there, ringing the changes and trying to get a new breed of player at Townsville.
And that's great. And when the coach shows the confidence in the younger guys, they perform. What'll really be tough for Townsville, if they drop a couple of games and the young guys start to dip their heads, they're really going to call on that experience of Rose and Reedy to keep them at level play.
Are they going to drop this one, Townsville?
I think so.
Adelaide for Steve Carafino. We'll have the opening tip for you right after this. And welcome back to the distinctive Holmes Dome here in Adelaide. Round 2 of the Phillips Championship about to come your way. An opportunity for us, though, to introduce you to one of the new faces in Townsville, Rob Brown, who spoke earlier to Steve Carafino about how tough it can be if you're undersized in this NBL league.
Nah, it's something I've been used to my whole career, man. Just people telling me what I can and cannot do in the post, and I pretty much take that to heart sometimes. You know, I'll go out, work hard every day in practice, and I work on my game every day. I shoot with JR every day, and I just don't let it bother me. I just go at anybody at any given time.
What I like about him is if he gets his shot blocked a couple of times, that does not discourage him at all. He led the preseason blitz in dunks, and they weren't just little squeak dunks. They were nasty dunks. And he likes to celebrate, too, so we got to have our cameras ready. After he gets and throws one down, he's going to have a little show for us.
Yes, he's deceptively big for his size, if that makes any sense at all. But Townsville needs someone to play above their own height because they have more guards than Buckingham Palace. The Townsville Crocs. Here's Adelaide being introduced to the home faithful. Crowd starting to build. Certainly around the 4,000 to 5,000 mark at the moment. Willie Farley coming off a career-high 8 threes in Townsville on Saturday night as he racked up a game-high 32. He was 8 of 14 from deep. Jacob Holmes there, 16 points. Led the game in assists with 7. 6 of 6 from the stripe and hit the game winner that wasn't to be. Big things are expected of Jacob Holmes this year, Steve.
Well, I knew he was, going to be a decent player in this league, and I had some conversations with Charles Thomas, who played here last year, of course, and he said that he is going to be on the Australian team at some point. And I was like, wow, that's a big comment, but the Adelaide people, they believe that, and he's starting to show some of that talent right now as he is looking to jump to the next level from just a guy that, plays good every 3 or 4 games to a guy that's going to be a contributor every night.
There are our referees. Jeff Weeks, who's approaching 600 NBL games. Carolyn Sarkalos, who's approaching 100. And Phil Haynes is the 3rd member of the Troika, as We get a look at Phil Smythe with the final instructions for Adelaide. They're 1-1, having opened their season with a 12-point victory in New Zealand. Now they need to get one back on Townsville, because splits are going to be interesting this year as well, remembering that each team will play two clubs 4 times in this regular season following the withdrawal of the Victoria Giants. So Adelaide, well, they have 4 matches against Sydney and Melbourne, so it's not too easy for them. Townsville have 4 matches against New Zealand and Perth. So if Townsville can get the job done here, they will take the split on Adelaide, and that could become crucial as we get down toward the business end of the season. Rob Rose, a former Adelaide player, as is John Riley, and those two play well in any gym. Also looking forward to seeing Casey Calvary for the first time. He's relegated me to the second best Casey in the league, apparently. Starting in great style for Townsville. He had 22 points, a game high 10 boards, 4 assists and 3 steals on debut. As we get underway from Adelaide, and it's a false start. We'll try our luck again.
Well, that's why they have alternating possessions. I don't think it's so much of a bad toss as the guys are always looking to get the advantage. There are so many bad tosses.
Rob Brown spinning to the hoop, can't finish it off, and Jacob Holmes off to Brett Maher. He finds Jacob Holmes guarded by Brown. Farley to the top of the key. Now Paul Rees plays his role so well for the Adelaide 36ers. Shot clock down to 7 for Adelaide as Jacob Holmes tries his luck, and it's all the bottom of the net.
Like the guy that's guarding him, John Riley, Jacob Holmes shot the basketball. That's a low percentage shot, but he loves the fall away, so it's a high percentage one for him.
Rose looks down low where Brown is operating against the taller Dusty Reichardt. Calvary presents himself in traffic off the window. Nice finish, draws a foul. Townsville taking it straight at Adelaide.
That's a good feed from Brown. He's aggressive, but he's also smart. He's undersized, but he doesn't force a lot of shots. Sees that the help comes from Casey Calvary's man. Calvary does a good job of getting to the open area and get it done.
All right, Reichardt up the floor, finds Paul Rees ready to go on the baseline, and he knocks down the shot.
Paul Rees just plays with so much more confidence when he's playing for Adelaide. One, he gets minutes. He's starting for the 36ers.
Rose guarded by Jacob Holmes, surveys the options. John Riley down in the corner, gets it next. Shot clock to single numbers for the former Adelaide and West Sydney star. He fires, and he drops the first triple of the match as Townsville grab the lead. In fact, what has been counted as a 3, momentarily posted as a 2, but Townsville do take the lead. 90 seconds played here. Brett Maher gets an open look off the back of the rim, kept alive by Paul Rees, and now it's Farley looking to penetrate and take them on. Pass for Paul Rees, little off the money, scooped up by Farley, and now Rees against Calvary. Spinning baseline, running into his teammate there in Farley, who feeds Jacob Holmes, who puts Adelaide back in front.
Just doesn't hesitate. I mean, obviously the shot clock winding down, but just so confident as he strokes this thing. He's always been able to shoot the basketball well, but he just believes he's up there in the options for Adelaide now.
Calvary, patient with the ball, now puts it on the floor, takes a bump. Nice soft finish as well for the German-born player. Two and a half minutes played, opening quarter action. Here's Dusty Reichardt doing what he does so well, being in the right place at the right time to take the pass from Paul Rees. Adam Quick finds Calvary, gets it back, top of the key, isolated against Brett Maher. Now Rob Rose fires from deep, overshot the ball. Reichardt scoops it up off the Jacob Holmes in traffic. Looks for support. Rees provides it. Now Reichardt had it batted away by Adam Quick. Farley fires and connects. Adelaide leads by 4.
Just a poor pass by Adam Quick. I'll tell him to settle down. Get a little excited in front of this crowd. It's not nearly as full as we've seen it in the past, but they still make a fair amount of noise.
Holmes guarded by Rob Rose. Now Paul Rees looking to share the ball around. Brett Maher with the shot clock winding to single numbers. Rees working on the perimeter and the baseline. Outside is Brett Maher from way downtown with 2 on the shot clock. Caught the front of the rim. And Brown doing an athletic job there, holding off opponents and pulling down the board. Really, backdoor play for Brown. Did a good job to reel that in, and in a confined space, he measures the 2 off the window to get the job done.
So patient. I mean, he grabs rebounds with big men all around, makes it look easy, and then he just keeps finding a way to score.
Now elevating, taking the shot is Jacob Holmes. He's under the challenge at the moment. He has 7 points to lead the game individually. Adelaide enjoy a 4-point edge. Almost 4 minutes played in this opening period. John Riley with his hands full. Only needs a crack in the D to get a shot away, though, and he makes them pay as he adds another 2.
I know those are all net, but, I mean, he's barely wrinkling the net.
31.
John Riley is called for the foul. Second foul of the match. Paul Rees has the other. Rees goes to the bench. And David Cooper checks in. Quick ball movement from Adelaide. They get it to Dusty Riker. Operating on the shorter Brown. Now it's Farley who elevates and knocks down another 2. 4-point lead. We played almost 5 minutes here, term number 1. And really stayed with the job there. Rose bounces off Farley, drawing contact. Second team foul on Adelaide in this period.
Up high, up high.
You see Rob Rose and seeing where Willie Farley's shooting through, gets the contact. Get the feeling this is going to be a high-scoring game.
Adam Quick got the shot off, but caught the front of the rim. Dusty Reichardt pulls down the board for Adelaide, and now Jacob Holmes with numbers ahead of him. Farley making John Riley work hard at the defensive end. Found the shot again, and Willie Farley has 6 points here in the opening period, and Adelaide leads by that margin, but not for long, as Rob Rose gets the 2 for Townsville. Up-tempo affair, as we suspected. And Farley shook Brown, but then lost control of the ball. Maher joins in, spreads it to Dusty Reichardt with the 3 on offer. Can't finish the shot. Loose ball scooped up by Calvary, and now Adam Quick has Brown, Rose and John Riley working hard on the other wing. Joining in Calvary. Nice pass to Brown, worried out of the points by good D from David Cooper. That's an element that Adelaide didn't enjoy last season.
Oh, he's a very underrated shot blocker in his very first game for the Brisbane Bullets. First time he suited up at this level. Feeling very comfortable on the defensive end, blocking shots.
Derek Moore checks in, but couldn't finish that off. And now it's Willie Farley, shut down by Rob Rose. Still with numbers available. He goes back to work. Reichardt bobbled the pass. And Adam Quick is going to be called for the foul, just nudging Reichardt in the back. Second team foul on Townsville here in the opening period. And we have 6:12 left on the clock until quarter time.
Unfortunate, because he had bobbled the ball. Looked like he was making a play for the ball, and there was contact, but not a whole lot.
Here's Cooper putting it on the floor, risking danger, reaching in. Foul is being found. It's going to be called on Rob Brown. Doesn't appear to be a lot in that.
That was a little soft too. Okay.
We are at 10 bounce now.
Third team foul on Townsville here in this period. Reichardt in a confined space, but can still get a quick shot off to give Adelaide a 6-point margin. We have 6 minutes to play. Adelaide forced the turnover. Jacob Holmes to Reichardt. Lock pass with a nice finish. There's Willie Farley upstairs, swinging on the rim as the fans go wild.
Wow.
Brown has the pass deflected by the quick hands of Farley. He wanted the pass a little quicker than that. Hands it off to Maher for the elevation triple. And Adelaide burst out now to an 11-point lead. Ian Stacker wants timeout. ASAP. The fans love it.
Well, if any other teams are watching out there around the country, this is what happens when you make a turnover. Bam. Turnover, they make you pay. Another turnover. Well, that's the same play, but then another turnover results in a three-point play. Willie Farley kicks it to his good old teammate Brett Maher, and that's a layup for him when he's open. Oh, they miss Willie Farley here. But he's like a different man in this gym.
It's no joy with West Sydney, but now back in Adelaide's colours. After coming off 32 points against Townsville on Saturday night, Brett Maher, who had 20 on Saturday night, has started impressively as well. He's sparingly up at the blitz in Cairns because of a slight injury problem, but three-time Olympian. Always a very popular figure here in Adelaide, and Ian Stacker is trying to keep the team on a even keel here. 5.5 minutes left in this opening period. 37 points have been scored already.
That's why you shouldn't get too excited about the blitz. Well, Adelaide had good form. They won it, of course, and they're looking good in this game. You can't get too excited because, you know, Brett Maher didn't play a whole lot. As so many veterans, theory around the league is, you know, do you want the best from me now or when it counts?
Kelvin Robertson into the match, feeds Casey Calvary, banging bodies down low. The double team arrives and Dusty Reichart strips him of it. Darren Ing gets it quickly to Holmes for the flush.
They're out hustling Townsville too. Townsville need to obviously take better care of the basketball, cut down on those transition baskets for the 36ers.
Rob Rose surveys the options. Moore wants it down low against Jacob Holmes. Now he gets to operate with single coverage. Shook his defender, but good second effort from Jacob Holmes to get a hand up and deny Derek Moore the shot he was after. Now Maher, no look pass for Darren Ing. Up the front of the rim. Cooper got a piece of it. It spills to Kelvin Robertson. And Townsville looking to push the ball. Really up the floor early, so was Robert Rose, and now it's Moore. No look pass for Robertson in traffic. Couldn't hit the target. Reichardt's got it again. Maher to his right joins in. Holmes and Darren Ing available. Brett goes solo for the triple. And Adelaide have exploded to a 16-point lead.
Again, Adelaide just running the floor. Missed shot that time by Robinson. And just Brett Maher, that is a layup for him when he's wide open.
Townsville with their hands full, less than 4 minutes out from quarter time. Rose goes solo unsuccessfully. Darren Ing scurries after the ball. And Adelaide, they have got it on a string at the moment as Maher feeds Cooper. Now Jacob Holmes, who thought about the three, elects to fire. That is off the money. Townsville will try and work themselves back into the equation here. 12 points to 2 is the run in the last 3 minutes, and Adelaide out to a big lead at early stages here as Calvary goes to work again. The double team keeps him at bay. Derek Moore finds the target from good range. That snaps the drought to Townsville. Adelaide still looking to push though, and Dusty Reichart gets his own rebound off the window, needs to go again. Eventually Derek Moore puts a stop to it. This up and down tempo is starting to take its effect on the players. That looks like a tired shot from Casey Calvary. Less than 3 minutes left in this opening period. Reichart had it batted away by Derek Moore, who's called for the foul coming in over the back. 14th foul on Townsville. Adelaide has committed 2 so far in the match.
Well, the ball's going through a lot of hands for Adelaide, in particular on the break. Not really dribbling the basketball a whole lot. It's getting advanced through passing, and it's resulted in some wide open looks for Adelaide. Now, the thing is, even when they're not wide open, when they've got good D on them, they've got so much confidence from all those open shots. They're hitting those too.
Holmes working on the smaller Brad Newley, who did a good job to bat down the pass. It spills to Robertson, back to Newley. Numbers here for Townsville. Newley's called for a travelling violation. The continuation waved off.
You can lose control. You can lose control of the basketball, but you can't gain that much of an advantage when you do it. It looked like he lost control of it, but then he gathered it in. Got plenty of ground on it.
Oscar Foreman into the game, finds Ing. Now Jacob Holmes. Extra pass was excellent for Paul Rees. This is good teamwork from Adelaide. 31 points on the board. Still more than 2 minutes to play in this opening period. Margin back to 16. A double Townsville score as Tregar finds Riley, bouncing off Paul Rees. Use a friendly roll for John Riley. And a chance at a three-point play as well.
Boy, he made a very tough shot look easy. He gets bumped pretty good there, and that really launches him backwards. And he compensates, gets more on it, still gets that thing to go in. On the other end of the floor, Adelaide are doing a good job of really taking advantage of the mismatches that Jacob Holmes is creating.
This is Foreman finding some room to Paul Rees, and now Darren Ing goes to Holmes down low. Worried out of the points by Tregar. Foreman though with a clean up two. So Adelaide with all the answers so far. As Tregar goes to Brad Newley against Jacob Holmes. Wants to put it on the floor now. Tregar sneaking in behind Foreman, splitting a couple of defenders and hitting the target for his first points.
Well, Tregar will find a way to get that shot off. He is not shy.
Darren Ing ready to go as well as he knocks down the triple. Adelaide have hit 4 threes here in the opening period. They're back to a 16-point lead.
And I don't know how Townsville is going to try and pour some water on these guys. They're on fire. Every single guy is just catching and shooting.
Tregar harassed by Oscar Foreman. Shot clock down to single numbers for Townsville. Foreman with the loose ball rebound. Farley against John Riley, worried out of the points. And now Farley ends up with the ball, but the foul is going to be called on Paul Rees. His second personal.
Tregar with a really sweet move. And look at this, catch and shoot. Darren Ing, bang. Great footwork and great patience and poise by Tregar down underneath this hoop.
Here he is again, given some latitude by Paul Rees. He turns around, rattles it around the rim, couldn't finish it. And Oscar Foreman across the halfway line finds Reichart ready to go against Tregar. Now needs help. Paul Rees, suggestion of a travel in there. And now Townsville with an opportunity. They want to come back hard. Brown down in the corner in all sorts of trouble. Feeds at him quick, guarded by Ing. Now it's really guarded by Farley. Shot clock to single numbers as Brad Newley fires the triple to announce himself to the fans here in Adelaide.
And you would hope that he wouldn't have tried too hard to go too fast.
Farley on the buzzer, couldn't finish it off. Rob Brown can't get one off in time. That is all for the first period from Adelaide, and the home fans are happy. At quarter time from the distinctive Holmes Dome, it's Adelaide 36, leading Townsville 23, here on Fox Sports. 13-point lead for Adelaide. It was as big as 16.
John Riley, of course, played for the Adelaide 36ers, won a championship here, but had more of a super sub type of role. We spoke to him about, did he have any animosity when he comes back here to play?
Oh, not at all. Like, there's a lot of things that have passed since then. I've got animosity towards everyone these days. So, you know, each game there's animosity towards someone, as all the media like to make it out to be. So, yeah, another game.
Well, connected on a couple of long bombs in this game. He's got unlimited range. Ian Davies type range for all you basketball historians out there. Not many guys could match the range of Ian Davies.
Casey, you bigs are in this area here and we shoot it and you stand there. You got to get on the glass from out there. All right, you guys are always on the glass no matter where the ball is. The guards are covering back. All right, make sure we get people on the glass.
We've got one offensive rebound, that's not good enough.
8 3-point attempts and we only have 4 deflections on our goal. All right. They're too good a shooting team.
Well, the Adelaide 36ers, as we said, have done a great job in transition of moving the basketball around. But, you know, this helps anybody's offense when you're canning shots from the perimeter. Jacob Holmes for a bomb. Brett Maher for a three-pointer. And then it's Darren. Ding doesn't hesitate. Bingo. And that'll help your interior game, too, when you got the defense spread out so wide because you're deadly from the land of plenty.
Dusty Reichard having an impressive start to the match as well. 6 rebounds to lead that category, 4 assists to lead that category. Darren Ing having an influence as well off the bench with his 3 points, which came with 1 minute 8 seconds left on the clock. Serve number 2 gets underway. Possession arrow with Adelaide looking to build on a 13-point lead. Townsville with plenty of work to do as Reichard takes them on down low. Draws a foul on Cameron Tregar. That's going to be his first.
We really don't give Dusty Reichard enough credit for his moves. We call him the garbage man because he's got great nose for just picking up balls that aren't supposed to be his, but he's got some very effective moves in the low post as well as the high post. And is a very good scorer.
Average 22 per game to be 6th in the NBL last season. And he's made an enterprising start to the new season as well. Led Adelaide with 25 in New Zealand. And they opened the season the last Wednesday night. It's 14 the margin. As Newley goes again, this time unsuccessfully. Brown with the offensive rebound. A little too hard off the window, however. And Adelaide gets possession. And Brett Maher brings them over the halfway line. Farley ready to go, measures the triple. It's all the bottom of the net. He's picked up where he left off on Saturday night. 17-point lead, the biggest we've seen in the match so far. As Rob Rose gets some treatment from Foreman and Farley, and Oscar Foreman is going to be called for the foul. That will be his first.
Just on the end line, guys. Here we go.
Just grabbing from behind.
Newley catch and shoot off the inbound play, adds another 2 to his tally, and great start to the match. That team's wearing armbands here because for Townsville, Brad Newley's grandmother, Annie Baker, passed away this morning, and we send our condolences to all the Newley family. And there's also the Bauer family. Paul Bauer, the team manager here in Adelaide, his father Phil passing away, and our condolences to that family as well. Willie Farley doing his best to make this a successful match for Adelaide. 14 in the game for Farley. It's an 18-point lead. Townsville with 4 on the shot clock. Go to Newley again, and he's equal to it as he adds another 2.
That's just to let you know it's not all hype.
Farley bounces off at him quick. No whistle forthcoming. Brett Maher. This is why Adelaide are so dangerous with the outside shooting strength that they have. They've opened up a handy 16-point lead here at the moment. Adelaide 6 of 12 from deep. Townsville just 2 threes in the match from 7 attempts. A little more than 2 minutes played in term number 2. Willie Farley not being shy at the moment, gets the quick shot off, and the other Rob Brown will go up for the dunk. What happened to those informed fans, Steve? I thought they were knowledgeable here in Adelaide.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of words for him at the other end. They don't appreciate it. They like it when it's one of the 36ers.
This is Reichard getting some treatment from Robert Rose to pass. The Rees did him no favours, but Reichard is there to get it back again. An over and back violation is called on Adelaide. Phil Smythe with plenty on his mind calls timeout.
Let's hear it. Oh my God, I want to hear it again. Yeah. Oh boy.
Robert Brown is in the house.
That's right.
Okay, what we need you to do if you are stick the black to 23. Stick the black to 23, so you two can go down the back still. All right, leave it. No.
We got to get back into it, though.
Yeah.
We got to get back into the 23. I know we're pressing, but we got to get back to that shit. The middle's wide.
Hey, let's go back to man-to-man.
Just need to kick back into gear and we're okay. Once again, defensively, want to be able to touch it, mirror the ball. Good pressure on that, and we're okay. Collectively, we're on the boards. Then we're looking to run against their zone. Once the shot goes up, if it's a miss, we've got to get back on transition on D and we'll be all right. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
I think that Townsville really need to get back in transition. And, you know, if they're going to be in something, they really got to sell it. Rob Rose was saying, look, we got to be back. We're going to press and then get into 2-3. We need to really sell it.
33.
You know, Townsville will always struggle on the glass, I think, this year. They've got a small team, for one. Like you said, they got a heap of guards. I think even more than the Sydney Kings, who have 8 on their roster to start the season. But Brown's their 4-man, and then they've got some players out there that don't think rebound first. So Ian Stacker almost on every timeout and huddle is going to have to remind them to rebound.
Adelaide by 14, almost 3 minutes played, term number 2 of the Phillips Championship here on Fox Sports. John Riley works it down low to Casey Calvary, who started well, but since they've been double teaming him, has become less of a factor. Here's Newley again, baseline, skimming one over the rim. Nice work from Foreman. Quick release pass for Brett Maher. Adelaide off and running again. Reichardt finds Maher baseline. Now it's Farley. Shut down by Newley, and then the quick hands of Calvary deflect the ball to the advantage of Townsville. They get the stop. What can they manufacture at the offensive end as Rose splits a couple. Ambitious shot wouldn't tumble, and now Farley is fouled quickly by Brad Newley, who looks around suspiciously to see if he'd been called for anything more than just a regulation foul.
Yeah, Willie Farley looking at him like, at the referee, like, what the hell was that? But a good foul, though, because Willie was about to get 2.
Cooper down low has Reichardt ready to stop on a dime and let go with a soft touch as Adelaide open up their lead again out to 16.
I wouldn't suggest anybody that's not in great shape to stop like that without having a bone shoot through the front of their knee.
Here's Newley taking on Farley. Did a good job to reel it back in. Shot clock to single numbers now for the Crocodiles, and Rob Rose is patient. Measures the 3, couldn't finish it. Maher got a piece of it. It spills to Cooper. Adelaide off and running again. Almost 4 minutes played, term number 2. 16 is the difference. It was 13 when we started this period. Foreman worked it to Reichardt. Cooper had Newley in all sorts of trouble, and Newley's forced to pick up his second personal. Cooper is off to the free throw line.
Now, because Adelaide are shooting the basketball so well from the outside, look at this interior passing. Bing, bing, layup. I mean, doing such a great job of, 1, keeping the floor spread, 2, cutting to the basket when your man leaves you for help and getting point-blank shots for layups. And Adelaide's offense is really flawless so far. They're aggressive, shooting the basketball, but they're not counting on long shots to maintain this lead. They're going to be tough to catch.
Cooper never been a very reliable conveyance from the free throw line. In more than 100 NBL appearances, he's never hit more than 5 in a match. At the moment, 17 separates these teams. David Cooper with his first point in the match is really against Brett Maher and others. Feeds Robertson. Good D from Adelaide has kept Townsville at bay for most of this first half, and Kelvin Robertson helps himself to the 2. His first points in the match.
That was a tough shot. He's more of a scoring guard than quick.
Cooper hard to the rim, worried out of the points by Casey Calvary. Now Townsville with a 4-on-3 fast break, and John really dangerous. Couldn't finish it off. Good work by Robertson to keep it alive momentarily, but Adelaide will get possession.
Good change of direction through the legs to even put himself in that position for the score. And that's a big confidence boost for him.
Pressure up the floor from Townsville. Robertson going at Darren Ing, who's relieving Farley at the moment. This is Cooper getting harassed by Rob Brown. Now back to Ing. Shot clock to 10 as Jacob Holmes with a mismatch here against Robertson. Takes him on. Hard to the rack. Calvary did an excellent job there. Adelaide wanted a foul called. Referees didn't see it that way. And now an opportunity for the Crocs as Brown. Hard to the rim. Should have done better. Almost gets his own rebound. It's out of court, and Adelaide will get possession.
I thought the ball was actually knocked out of his hands. We'll get a look at it right here. Dusty Rykard knocked it out of bounds. I thought pretty much that was a no-brainer. I could see that from here.
Jacob Holmes, guarded by Rob Rose. Now Cooper presents himself at the top of the key. Shot clock to single digits for Darren Ing. A long way from the hoop, and he's travelled under pressure from Casey Calvary, who's certainly doing a good job at the defensive end. His offense has been taken away somewhat after he scored the first 2 of the match for Townsville. But at the defensive end, Casey Calvary appears to be quite happy whether he's down low or a long way from home.
Ing losing that battle in the physical aspect. Not enough time in the weight room. Speaking of physical, Brett Maher, we were asking him before the game, did the Olympics take their toll on him physically?
I think it's demanding with the preparation for the Olympics, and the Olympic Games takes a lot out of your body, and then to come straight into the next season. I think a lot of the athletes that go to the Olympics are probably prone to injuries throughout the upcoming season, so we'll just look to maintain the body as much as possible and see how it goes.
Brett Maher, as I mentioned before, one of the most consistent performers throughout his career that I can recall. Not many guys in the league are just automatic from the three-point line. And the year that he was the best three-point shooter in the country, out of all the guys that were shooting three-point shots, he was probably taking the toughest ones. I mean, guys running at him, tough ones in transition. He was rolling that year, and everybody knew it. They're sending all kind of guys at him, seeing the best defenders in the competition, and he was still stroking it out there. That was an amazing year.
And in '92, when Brett Maher made his debut, it was Lachlan Armfield from Canberra who took the Rookie of the Year honours.
What?
We have a little over 6 minutes left here until halftime. Townsville still in a big hole, down by 15 as Rose goes to the rack, took the nudge, just adjusted the shot and off the window, adds the 2. Back to 13, and that's where we started this period as Jacob Holmes reacquaints himself with Rob Rose. Cooper, harassed by Derek Moore, takes them on, works down low, and he's off to the stripe once more as Derek Moore picks up his second.
Well, Cooper getting a lot of good experience and great play in New Zealand in their National Basketball League there. And I asked a couple of Kiwi friends, what did he do so well? And they said he was much quicker than the big men and just too tall and agile for the smaller guys that matched up for him. And he played with a tremendous amount of confidence, obviously, to get the most valuable player in that league. And you know, what do players do when they come play for Phil Smythe? They play with a tremendous amount of confidence, so I think we're going to see a lot from him this season.
13-point spread in favour of Adelaide. As Robertson finds John Riley finding an opening and coming up with the goods as well, despite being knocked down after taking the shot. Riley into double figures. Only Farley with 14 has more. Working down low, Rykard denied illegally. A goaltend called on Casey Calvary. 2 will count.
Just hits the backboard first. Calvary showing some type of defense commitment there. You just weren't seeing any kind of help defense and rotation by Townsville as he comes over from the weak side. Well, that was closer than I thought. He thought he got it clean. Having Townsville kind of snuck back into the game. That call doesn't go against them. They get it going the other way. Could have gotten that thing down to single figures.
5.5 minutes on the clock till halftime. Adelaide scored 36 points in the first period. Only 12 since. There's Kelvin Robertson. Finds Calvary, guarded by Paul Rees. Now Rose with Holmes to contend with. Calvary working backdoor on a shorter opponent. Brett Maher gets the job done. 6 in the match for Calvary. Townsville trying to work their way back into the equation. The danger man Farley back onto the floor for Adelaide as Rees Works it to Riker. They offer him the baseline. He worked into trouble. Intelligent D there from Townsville. Adelaide has 8 on the shot clock.
Rob Rose, they either scouted and knew he wanted or just played him to go that way, anticipated, did a good job of getting there before he started his move.
5 on the shot clock. Brett Maher left open. 2 pieces of the iron without success. Derek Moore had a piece of it, couldn't reel it in. This time he does. That's better work from the big man. And Townsville with another opportunity. Will try and get the lead back to single figures as Calvary with Reese on his back fancies his chances, dances down low, tough shot, forced it up, couldn't finish it. He's going to be called for the offensive foul. His first personal.
Watch Brett Maher come over in the help and rotation. Calvary just takes him out of the play. That's a good call.
5th team foul on the Crocs in this period. And as an offensive foul, should this be free throws? 4:37 left on the clock. Margin had been closed to 11, and now Brett Maher strides to the free throw line. He'd be one of the first pick to take free throws if your life depended on it.
Oh.
Adelaide just 2 of 7 from the free throw line.
Normally the case, I only bet my house, not my life on it.
This is Adam Quick finding really now Rose. A little more purpose about Townsville as we head toward half-time. Paul Reeves picks off the pass though. And the omnipresent Willie Farley there scoops it up. Oscar Foreman guarded by Brown. Now Brett Maher beats Holmes. Guarded by Riley. Shot clock to 10. Wants to take him on. Did a good job but couldn't get it above the rim. Townsville catch a break. They'll earn possession.
That was a sweet move. It must have slipped out of his hands.
At the other end, Townsville go to Brown in traffic. Forces one up off the window. It tumbles and he draws a foul. Chance at a 3-point play. Townsville making inroads into this lead, which was as big as 18 earlier in this term.
I watched him in the preseason blitz. He consistently makes those type of shots. You think, oh, that's a bad shot. Oh, that's off balance. And then he's hit 3 or 4 of them by the end of the game.
Can't get finishing touches, though, so it's a 10-point lead. This is as close as Townsville have been since the middle stages of the opening period.
Paul Reeves running the floor.
Now Reeves has gone down behind plate. Fans thought he may have been fouled. Calvary travelled. The pass went between the legs of Rob Brown anyway. Phil Smythe with plenty to say to the referees.
And I thought he had a legitimate reason to. I mean, I know Reezy took the dive. Oh, he's ready to screen somebody.
Adam Quick getting plenty of body on Brett Maher. No whistle forthcoming as Jacob Holmes works around the perimeter. Shot clock works its way now down to 5. Wants to go to work against Rob Rose, who is forced to foul Jacob Holmes off to the free throw line as Rose picks up his first.
Well, Paul Reeves inspired now, but this is the hit that he takes. Look at that. Adam Quick extends the arms. I would say that maybe Grant Kruger. He's the only one that springs into mind that wouldn't have gotten that call other than Paul Reeves. I think everybody else in the league would have gotten it.
Adelaide working on building up this free throw percentage at the moment. Crocs at 1 of 3 from the stripe. Adelaide now 5 of 10, so starting to build those numbers. And it's 12 the difference. A little over 3 minutes out from the major break. Really hasn't seen a lot of room so far in the match. Brown back to Riley. Doesn't need a lot of room though as he fires this time unsuccessfully. Good work from Rose to keep it alive. He knocks down the shot under pressure and draws a foul in the process. They're sticking at it, Townsville, and being rewarded.
Talk about making something out of nothing. He is the master of it. Rob Rose, you need a rebound, you need a steal, you need a block shot, you need an off-balance squeaker off the glass. He just seems to get it done. I don't know how old he is, but he looked maybe a week older than the picture that he had with Brad Newley. How long ago was that? Well, he was in Adelaide, so it was a while ago.
That's back in 1993. 3 minutes left until half-time. 9 points separates these teams as Jacob Holmes tries his luck baseline without success, and Townsville with another opportunity. They are making the running at the moment. Adam Quick is off the money. Brown up over the top of Dusty Reichart, who's going to be called for the foul. That will be his first. Fourth on Adelaide in this period. In fact, it's Farley who gets called for the foul, and that's his third personal.
Well, they say that there's no such thing as somebody being able to hang up in the air longer than others, and they say that you can't jump quicker, but I don't believe that's true. I think he is so quick to the ball. For a guy that is so undersized on all those rebounds and a crowd of people, he sure comes up with his fair share. That man does too, Dusty Reichart.
Well, John Riley has played here in Adelaide. Now he's up in Townsville for the first time, and we asked him how his new team was shaping up.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far, but as I like to say, that like we're one game into the season, we're in the honeymoon period. Every team goes through a tough stretch of the season, and we've yet to hit that. So, look, that's when you really see what young guys are made of, but also that's where probably the veteran guys will need to step up and, you know, steer the ship a little bit.
Well, they're going to have their work cut out for them tonight because Adelaide just seemed to be on fire. It's going to take all those veteran players to keep the young guys, to keep fighting, to stay in the game, because you know what it's like. You get a team to shoot the basketball when they're only down by 6 instead of 16. It's a big difference.
They get some easy shots, but they've been missing them. All right, that's what you've got to thrive on, picking up those ones that they miss. All right, no second shots and keep looking to run from that. All right, so if it's a transition situation, just run regular secondary. Otherwise, 2s and 3s. Go, hey, from the baseline here, go with old, with RB as the cutter. I mean, new. RB, you're cutting straight down the middle, new.
The Townsville, who are down by as many as 18 in this period, have closed to within 9. 2:42 left on the clock until the break. And with possession, Rob Rose finding some room. Now wants support. Vanderjagt. Back to Rob Brown. He looks to penetrate, dances into the paint and knocks down another 2. 8 in the match for Brown. And it is a 7-point ball game.
Man, did he cover some ground on that one dribble? Wow. Just exploded up there.
Certainly an exciting commodity as Brett Maher feeds Reichart down low off the window, couldn't finish it off. Townsville with another opportunity. It's starting to open up for them as Rose works on Jacob Holmes and now retreats to Adam Quick. Here's Riley, guarded by Brett Maher. Rose shook Jacob Holmes, who's called for the foul. That is going to be the 5th team foul on Adelaide, so free throws to come for the Crocs. 2 minutes and 1 second left on the clock. And the box scores from Saturday night when Townsville won by 3. If it was decided anywhere, it was from the stripe in that match. We saw that Townsville were able to get to the free throw line 31 times to 23. Outscored Adelaide by some 11 points from the stripe and 1 by 3, as I've told you. It's going to be tight here again.
Well, they have a lot of good free throw shooters on their team. Rose and Riley, and Quick shoots it well from the free throw line. They're going to be up there in just about every game that they play.
51-45. It's a 6-point ball game. Inside the last 2 minutes of the first half, Adelaide have stagnated somewhat after rattling on 36 in the first term, including 4 of 9 threes. This is Brett Maher, unable to get the job done, and Rob Brown has the rebound, off and running. As Adelaide rush back on D. Rose to Adam Quick. Townsville still coming. Rose against Foreman. Finds Brown at the top of the key. Now Adam Quick. Shot clock down to 5. Really elevating. Turnaround jump shot wouldn't tumble. Loose ball scramble. Vanderjagt got a piece of it. Jacob Holmes grabs it for Adelaide and hands off to Brett Maher, who gets Foreman involved. Adelaide share the ball around, looking for the percentage play. Shot clock down to single numbers. Game clock inside the last minute of the first half. Foreman dangerous from 3-point territory. Shows us why, as he hits Adelaide's 7th 3 of the match. Townsville had 2 in that category. They have the answers so far, the Adelaide 36ers. As Vanderjagt gets a look at the hoop, caught the front of the iron. Jacobs Holmes, quick release to Reichert. Farley gets in behind Rose, and Reichert is there for the clean-up too. He is into double figures. 11 now for Reichert. Only Farley with 14 has more in the match. The shot clock is going to be some 3 seconds inside the game clock. Rose, a speculative attempt that wouldn't tumble. Now it spills to Adam Quick. Fans wanted a foot violation called on Rose. It was accidental, according to the referees. As we close it on the last play of the first half, it's really from deep. Couldn't finish it off. Brown as the shot rejected. Hooter in the background. That is all for the first half, and the Adelaide 36ers enjoy a double-figure lead. At the major break, it's Adelaide 56, leading Townsville 45 here on Fox Sports. Townsville outscoring Adelaide 22-20, but it's the home side who have a double-figure lead at the major break, and ironically, it was Townsville leading by 11 when these teams played on Saturday night up in Townsville. On that occasion, it was 66-55 in favour of Townsville. At the moment, 56-45 Adelaide. Here's Steve with Willie Farley.
Okay, so Willie Farley was hot in Townsville, and obviously you're still feeling the jumper. You're just spraying that thing from the three-point line.
It's all emotion. I'm happy to be back in this gym. This is actually a great place to play in. As far as the game, I just think we just need to stay aggressive on defense, because they're pushing up in on offense with us, so we just stay aggressive on that. We should pull this ball game out.
How are they able to get back into it? I mean, you guys look like you still stayed aggressive, but it just seemed like they were able to be more efficient on the other end of the floor.
We took a little bit of the transition away from the game, and that really slowed us up, and that's not really our typical half-court game. So I think we bring our transition offense back to the game and pick them up early. We should bet off, and we should come up with a win.
All right, thanks, Willie.
Yeah.
Okay, Willie Farley is back, and he is hooping, and we'll be back right after the break.
Welcome back to Adelaide. There is Mark Nash, the injured 36ers star who averaged 7 points per game last season, a veteran of more than 250 NBL appearances. The bulging disc in his back is an injury that he's carried for some time, but it's just got beyond his capabilities at the moment. Glad he can still manage a smile, because the likelihood is we will not be seeing Mark Nash at all this year. And because he creates so many mismatches for the 36ers, they're going to miss him, even though he's not a heavy scorer, Steve.
And just to add to that point, which is a very good one, Case, is defensively he's able to pick up a point guard all the way down to a floor man, or I should say all the way up to a floor man, but you know, I'm a point guard, so I think 4 is going down.
I think I follow your logic. Possession arrow with Townsville. They're looking for a good start. Calvary misses the dunk. That wasn't on the agenda, but it's kept alive by Adam Quick. Fresh shot clock for Townsville. Down by 11 at the major break. Down by as many as 18 in the second period. They actually led for a moment in the first term as Brown shows them some tricks. Couldn't get it done. Calvary battling against a couple of opponents. Holmes has Farley available. He works in that direction. The pass is cut out by John Riley. Farley and had found position and was ignored. Brown posting up Reichert, who gives him a shove, contact, and Brown still gets it done. Reichert picks up his first personal, chance at a three-point play.
I don't think Brown realized he had single coverage. He was pointing to Rob Rose to get it back. Then when he realized that it was just Dusty Reichert over there. Nothing against Dusty, but it was only one man, and he gets the contact, gets the two-point play.
Almost 60 seconds played in the second half. Townsville do get the lead down to single digits, but not for long as Paul Rees gets in on the act for Adelaide. Calvary hands off to Rose. Now Riley joins in. Shot clock to 10 for Townsville. Paul Rees doing a good job to deny Calvary at the moment. Excellent pass from Riley, but Adam Quick can't finish it off. Disappointment there for Townsville. Both teams just taking a little bit of time to work themselves back up to game pace. Rees makes the fumble. It's out of court. Townsville will get possession. Down by 11. We've played almost 2 minutes of the second half.
Just a little sloppy. You know, I'm sure Townsville would, you know, they've missed a dunk and a layup. I'm sure they'd like to have those 4 points.
This is John Riley putting it on the floor, almost losing control. Rob Rose firing. It is off the money. Paul Rees with the rebound. Now they push the ball to Jacob Holmes. And Reichert with the offensive rebound and the putback. Rusty Reichert. It's Adelaide back to a 13-point lead. And that is his score. 13 for Reichert. Only Farley with 14 has more. As Calvary measures the shot and knocks it down. It's 3 of 5 from the field before that shot for his 6 points. Townsville trading baskets with Adelaide at the moment.
Some really poor defense by Adelaide.
Paul Rees getting some treatment from Rob Brown. Now he wants help. Pass for Reichert, didn't do him many favours, and Calvary knocks it out of court. 5 on the shot clock. As Maher takes it at John Riley, it opens up from the foul line, front and back of the rim. A third bounce, but no reply for Brett Maher as Adam Quick puts it on the floor to Brown. He made a beeline to the hoop and adds another 2. Nice work from Brown, who now has an even dozen.
Well, once he gets his shoulders by you, he is very quick, very strong, getting those shots up.
Brown takes over as Townsville's high scorer. He had 20 and a game-high 10 boards on Saturday night on debut. As Jacob Holmes is left open, this time can't find the target. Kept it alive, spills to Calvary. And Townsville with an opportunity to close what is a 9-point gap at the moment. Quick, good thinking. Got it to Brown for the flush as he slaps the board as well. 7-point ball game as Paul Rees charges up the floor and has it knocked out of court by Casey Calvary.
Ooh, this man needs some anger management, because when he pulls a play off, it's like this. There's one. And this is the one I like.
Brett Maher elevates at the other end, knocks down the 2. 9 points now for this captain as Adelaide buys some breathing space with single figures between these teams after almost 4 minutes of term number 3. Really to Rose, who fires over the top of Jacob Holmes. Was short on the front of the rim. Pass from Rees was behind Holmes, but he scoops it up. Takes on Rob Rose. Farley cleans up from close range. Can't knock it down, though. And now the ball has trickled out of court, and Adelaide miss an opportunity. Good tee from Rob Rose. Beat 2 of them. Adam Quick puts it on the floor, works to the elbow and knocks down the 2. His first field goal in the match.
Well, he needs to do more. I mean, right now, if you're guarding him, you can rest. He's not taking the ball to the basket. He's just setting the plays up. He's not making you pay if you slack off of him. He's not hitting the outside shot right there. He knocks it down. Need to see more of that.
Paul Rees goes on with the job against Casey Calvary, who picks up his 2nd foul. Rees off to the free throw line.
This man is 6'3". I mean, that's with like big spongy basketball shoes. Look at this. But I tell you what, I mean, that's a lot of hype, you know, after a dunk. But 6'3", and there was no gather step there. That was all elevation. We're going to see a lot of those this year. There's not a whole lot of guys that are 6'7" or 8" can catch the basketball without gathering and dunk.
Maybe you could advise him on some post-dunk celebrations to add to his repertoire, Steve.
I think he's got that category covered. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. If anything, Townsville was a little boring in the past. You know, he fixed that quick smart.
Kelvin Robertson into the match. Adam Quick getting a rest for the moment. This is really looking for Brown, this time guarded by Rijkaard. Shot clock to 10 as he muscles his way down low. No room for Kelvin Robertson. Now Rose firing a tough one. Caught the front of the rim. Good job by Dusty Rijkaard as a foul is called on Townsville, and Casey Calvary has picked up his third.
That's a cheap one, too. Let's see where it occurs. Oh, that was soft. That was extremely soft.
Second foul on the Crocodiles in this period. Adelaide has committed one since halftime. As Rijkaard puts it on the floor against Brown. Pass intended for Cooper. It spills to Jason Williams, and the unfamiliar number 15 this season. And it's come back to him as well after it really was stripped, and Jacob Holmes was left all alone. That was for a reason. He caught the front of the rim. Townsville come forward, playing with 3 bench players at the moment. Robertson is one of them, so is Brad Newley, and Derek Moore the other. As Newley goes to work on Brett Maher, takes him to the rack, couldn't finish it off from close range. Jacob Holmes is fouled by Rob Brown, who will pick up his second. That is going to be foul number 3 on Townsville in this term.
Not a gimme for a layup, but still a layup missed by Townsville. This time by Brad Newley on a nice aggressive drive, but still missing a layup. That's 3. That's the difference in the game.
Maher working against Riley, and now Derek Moore running out of room to Rijkaard. They have travelled. Here's Jason Williams. Couldn't finish it. Jacob Holmes back to Williams for the triple. A little deep. Moore has the rebound. And now Robertson. Newley wanted it early. Robertson now confronted by Jacob Holmes. Feeds Derek Moore. He's a regular in this gym last season. Knocks down the triple. And Adam Quick on the bench at the moment. It's been an up-tempo game, Adam.
They're shooting pretty well at the moment, so we're just trying to get some greater hands on them on the perimeter.
And how about you? You knock down a jumper, looking to get a little bit more aggressive on the offensive end, maybe a couple of drives?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more up-tempo. Missed that easy layup down there, so we're just trying to pick it up a little bit.
And Brett Maher and Willie Farley, they're good opponents for you, Adam.
Yeah, they're pretty good players, and it's really good to play against them sort of guys.
Appreciate your time. There's Adam Quick with us, a live in-game interview here on Fox Sports. Townsville starting to make some noise, but still find themselves 9 points in arrears, and Adelaide will get possession here.
You know, in Adelaide, we've given them some credit. We've given Townsville credit by sneaking back into the game, but let's give it to Adelaide for just keeping them at bay. Townsville continue to make runs, and it's Adelaide just getting the stops and hitting key baskets and pumping that thing back up or towards double figures.
Some dispute on the last score, but scoreline now amended to 66-58 in Adelaide's favour. 8-point lead, 5 minutes away from three-quarter time. Cooper looking confident in his new club. Here's Jacob Holmes. Shot clock to single numbers now for Brett Maher, who blows past Robertson, confronted by Derek Moore. Going to need some help. And a foul is called on Derek Moore. Carolyn Sakalos makes the call. Third personal on Derek Moore. Former Rookie of the Year in 2000, and member of the Boomers squad in 2001. Spent time in France as well. And he is here for 7 games, a 7-game contract with Townsville while they wait for Pat Reddy to recover from his knee surgery. Derek Moore, more than adequate replacement. Here he is measuring the 3, but coming up short. Williams has it. Getting harassed as well with the ball. Now it's Brett Maher, who shook his opponent, Kelvin Robertson. Now Cooper into the paint. Not getting a lot happening, though, against good D from Casey Calvary. Townsville with another opportunity. Calvary decides to go solo. Couldn't finish it off. Maher tapped it, but couldn't get it close enough. And now it's Dusty Reichert. Maher to his right, gets it next. Jacob Holmes at the top of the key. Inside the last 4 minutes, term number 3, Adelaide leading at 66-58. They've led by as many as 18 in term number 2. Reichert appeared to be fouled, no whistle. Couldn't finish it off, and now Townsville looking to run to Newley in the corner. Yes, knocks it down. The 3 will count. And a whistle on the play as well.
We've got 2 shots down the other end now.
But it's an offensive foul going to be called on Casey Calvary, and that is going to be his 4th personal. Free throws to come at the other end. It's the 5th team foul on the Crocs in this term.
Newley with the jump shot, knocking it down. Couldn't really see. That's the result. That happened. Boy, that's an obvious one. I mean, that's right in front of the referee. That's the type of foul you commit maybe very early in the game for your first or second, trying to establish a physical presence. But when you're on 3 fouls and that's, I mean, I know there's a lot of to-ing and fro-ing for the big guys physically down there, but it's not, you don't pick your 4th up like that right in front of the official.
Calvary picked up 5 fouls on Saturday night, so maybe he will need some time to adjust to the refereeing in the NBL in his first season. 3.5 left in term number 3. No room for Rob Rose. Newley fires a little deep on this occasion. Now 2 of 4 from the field, Brad Newley, into double figures in a nice display. Willie Farley looking for Reichert, and Tregar coming up with a heads-up play, knocks it down onto the foot of Reichert and out of court to win possession for Townsville. Newley left alone to Tregar. Back to Newley, working the baseline. Tough shot under pressure from Reichert. Couldn't get it done. Williams has Reichert available. Rob Rose knocks it out of court. And Adelaide will restart. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play in term 3. Well, Adelaide's early lead is slowly being whittled away by Townsville. It started at 11 at the beginning of the 3rd period. It's back to 7.
Boy, that should have been a Townsville ball. Rob doing a great job defensively. What was Tregar doing? He just was standing there flat-footed. Watch this. Good D right there. Tregar's just flat-footed, hoping for a call. You got to jump on that.
This is Jason Williams finding Farley against Rob Rose. Handing off to Maher, who caught it in rhythm but couldn't find the target. Calvary's out there playing with his 4 fouls at the moment. It's Quick. Goes to Tregar. Got Cooper in the air from close range. Cameron Tregar adds the 2.
Quick pushing the break. And he is a very good interior passer. And that was an excellent play in transition. Good D.
Forcing the error as Foreman travels under pressure from Adam Quick. That will delight the Townsville coach Ian Stacker. And John Riley's joined us at the moment. JR, the Crocs are on the way back. Well, we'll try and establish contact with John Riley. The fans enjoy the whistle from Jeff Weeks. Offensive foul called again on Townsville. This time it's Adam Quick who picks up his 2nd. And John Riley is with us now. The Crocs are making a run, JR.
Oh, well, first time we've done it all night. We're in a huge hole. Now we're burning a lot of energy to get back into the game. We'll see how we go.
What's been the difference between Saturday night and here?
Oh, the first quarter, we didn't come out with anything, too many easy shots for those guys.
And Willie Farley is an exciting commodity. How are you enjoying the guarding role on him?
Oh, bring it on, I say. Look.
All right, we'll bring it on, JR. We appreciate your time. We have a 7-point game here at the moment inside the last 2 minutes of this period. Foul is being called on Adelaide. Only the 2nd team foul on Adelaide in this period. And Townsville, well, they have committed 6.
And Townsville are going to have to continue to make strong, aggressive drives to the hoop. Even if they don't score initially or get fouled, that'll force Adelaide, help and rotate, and take a little bit of pressure on their half-court game.
Cooper with the ball carrying duties against Cameron Tregar. Eventually they get it to a guard. Farley to Foreman. Very much new look Adelaide team. As Maher takes on Adam Quick, finding Farley with 5 on the shot clock. That is off the money. Loose ball scramble. Adelaide in over the back, knock it out of court. Macy Calvary, the wide body, is creating some problems here for Adelaide. Displaying percentages, looks like a good, solid defensive player.
I think he's got to get a few more touches, too. Early in the game, they went to him. He was consistently giving them some good things down on the block. Here we go.
Against David Cooper, shares it around. Tregar scoops up the pass intended for Newley. Now it's Rose at the top of the key. He ices the 3, and we have a 2-point ball game.
And isn't Rose just turn it on when they need it the most? He hasn't come close to hitting a 3. The entire game. He gets one there. Tregar blocking foul. Very rarely is he going to be able to slide with Willie Farley. Mismatch out on the perimeter. Willie Farley will go to the line. And as always case, the good ones always seem to know when they're in the bonus. Got a big guy on you, take him to the hole. He can't slide with you. Get yourself to the line. A couple of cheapies.
Farley had 14 points at the half. He has 16 at the moment, so they put the clamps on him. And Adelaide's lead has dried up here, leading by as many as 18 in the second. It's a 2-point spread. That make that 3 with a little over a minute to play in this term. I remind you that the last 8 meetings between these teams have been decided by single figures. Rose going again, this time unsuccessfully. Maher helps himself to the rebound, and a foul's going to be called on Cameron Tregar. And Brett Maher is off to the free throw line. Foul number 8 on Townsville in this period.
You want to keep the intensity up, but also that puts Brett Maher on the line. For a team that's struggling to get points, 2 fouls by Tregar. 1 puts Willie Farley to the line. He catches a little bit of a break. He only hits 1 out of 2, but Brett's going to make both of them.
Scott Ninnis, despite not being on the coaching panel with Steve Breeny and Phil Smythe this year, still not far away from the action, has the next seat along, the media bench. They've shuffled Al Green up a little, perhaps. As we head towards three-quarter time, Adelaide find themselves 5 points in front, but under pressure from the Crocs. The loose ball spills to Newley, had it spent before controlling it, and Adelaide catch a break. Maher against Adam Quick, Melbourne-born rookie, flying his trade in Townsville. Here's Jacob Holmes, who has gone off the boil somewhat. Baseline Farley in traffic. Did a good job to time the shot to get the job done.
That's just quick. Woo. Explosive. Can't defend that.
Rose muscles him out of the equation at the other end, but couldn't finish it off. And now Farley with business on his mind against Newley for the triple. Couldn't finish it. Jacob Holmes with the offensive rebound. He is fouled and off to the free throw line with 1.3 seconds on the clock. Adelaide leading by 7 with 2 free throws to come.
You just get that through aggressive play. Willie Farley just is unstoppable and is in that type of mode. So quick and explosive. You got to try and defend him with 1, 2, sometimes 3 people, and that creates offensive rebounds. That creates cuts to the basket. He just didn't have that type of freedom in West Sydney. Now, granted, they have a different type of system.
David Cooper gets the tip in 2 right on the three-quarter time buzzer. And after the lead was cut to 2, Adelaide now has a double-figure lead with a quarter to play. Three-quarter time from the distinctive Holmes Dome. It's Adelaide 78, Townsville 68 here on Fox Sports.
I'm trying to think of what is Adelaide doing so well, and I think it's coming from a number of people, but it's that unassuming type of player like this man right here, Dusty Reichart, whether it's on the offensive glass, knocking down shots, good cuts to the basket. How many times has he been one on none after he makes a good cut? And being able to finish him too. It's one thing to make a cut, it's another thing to finish a play. Right place, right time, knows exactly where to get to, and also gives his man an angle to pass it to. One of the better offensive rebounders in the competition. And of course, he's not the most athletic, but he has good athleticism and he's quick to the ball, and he is just a very efficient player.
And your thoughts on Casey Calvary so far, Steve?
Well, I think mentally he hasn't been in the game tonight. You know, I think that he's had spurts. He started off well, but I think that he is a player that can do very well in this league and dominate some games, but mentally he hasn't been there for all of these 36 minutes that we've seen so far. He is capable of making plays like that, but he's had a couple of mental errors that has gotten him into foul trouble. But they need him on the court for plays like that. He's one of the more dominant low post players in the competition, can step out and hit the 17-footer. He's got a lot of things in his offensive package, but mentally he's got to be there the entire 48 for his team.
You can come up from behind and get this thing at the end. All right, so let's just keep plugging away with it. Stay cool, all right, and execute well and be in good shape. All right,
Boy, they have kept coming back into this game against the 36ers. 36ers with all the answers, but I think the last couple of minutes that ended that third quarter, it was more.
Well, you're supposed to be good at it.
Ian Stacker just a little filthy right there. Felt like a couple calls didn't go his way towards the end. I think they kind of limped home in the third. Can't blame it on the referees. I'm sure he's not, but just a little frustrated.
Adelaide with a possession arrow to start term number 4. They work the shot clock down into single numbers. Now it's Reichart baseline, getting the 2, drawing a foul. He is so hard to guard down on the baseline.
Quick release on that one. Watch this. Here, just flips it up before the defense gets there, draws the foul earlier. Makes it look easy. Tremendous touch. He'll hold it a little longer, go up and under, underneath, reverse layup. He's got plenty of tricks.
Just holding Townsville at arm's length at the moment as Calvary works backdoor on the nice assist from Rob Rose to add the 2 first points for Townsville in this period. 30 seconds of the final term played. Adelaide leads by 11. Paul Rees puts it on the floor. Now Brett Maher against Robertson, who starts the final period, and Brett Maher adds the 2, up to 13 in the match.
That's a good player hitting a tough shot. That was a very good closeout by Robertson. Calvary, look at this. Brett Maher talking about that good defensive play. This is Calvary on the other end. My bad, got it mixed up, Case.
Calvary with 10 points at the moment, also has 5 rebounds in the match. That category is being led by Dusty Reichardt's 11 rebounds. 5 assists for Reichart as well, leads the match in that category. Townsville down by 13. They led for a brief moment in the first period at 5 points to 4, but since then they've been chasing as Brown works down low into the traffic again. This time they shut him down with 2 on the shot clock. Really can't find the target. Brown's from close range, should have done better. Adelaide with a fast break happening. Farley rejected by Rob Rose. An excellent defensive play again.
2-on-1 fast break. Rob Rose just anticipates that he's going to go back to Willie Farley. Got some quick hands in there.
John Riley scooping up an errant pass, finding Calvary against Dusty Reichart. Shows him the ball, knocks down the jumper. Nice work from Casey Calvary, now up to 12 points in the match, but playing with 5 fouls as well. still have more than 10 minutes in this period. Paul Rees, a victim of gravity these days. No highlight reel finish from the big fella. He's going to save them up for us when they're needed most.
Boy, he just clocked John really on that one, Paul Rees. Rob Rose with a heads-up play to the real deal.
Really getting free, couldn't finish it, may get another opportunity as he goes to work with some showtime, but couldn't hit the target. Holmes the rebound to Farley. Rijkaard ahead of him, but 3 white singlets rush back to defuse the situation. Now Brett Maher sees an opening, wants to take Brown on, and earns a trip to the free throw line as Brown picks up his 3rd personal.
Brett Maher and Brown about the same size, but Brett just scoots by him. And Brett Maher, I'm sure, has protected the basketball against bigger opponents, isn't able to get that up. That's a 3-point play situation, especially against somebody your own size. And you got a piece of the ball.
One shot.
Well, I mentioned it. The match on Saturday night in Townsville between these teams was decided from the foul line. Well, Adelaide are returning the favour here. They're 15 of 23 from the stripe. The Crocs are just 5 of 8. So Adelaide with a 10-point lead from the free throw line, and at the moment their margin is 13 with 9.5 minutes to play in this final term.
Well, Adelaide really have had all the answers. A nice balanced scoring attack. They do such a great job of getting the basketball to people that are hot, and a great job of keeping the floor spread. And then Paul Rees leak into the basket. When their men leave them, they get to the rim.
Okay, Jake gets that release pass. Big fella there, they're going to go off and double on that. So get down the floor, make yourself available. No one comes to you. That's beautiful. Take it to the basket, draw some people, then play off that. The big fella's stuck with the ball. You want to get a handoff, because once you get the handoff, there's no one to guard you. So have a look yourself. You can take it like the last time, no problem at all. Take it till you draw some people. Go, fellas, dig it in on D. Don't let them establish early in the low block. Okay, here we go.
Paul Rees, like we said, he gets to the rim. When his man leaves him, Phil Smythe giving him those instructions again. This time, there he is on his own. Goes to the rim. That's very poor defense, but at the same time, he's probably the 5th option for Adelaide offensively, and when other guys are killing you, you got to try and get help somewhere, but you got to help and rotate and recover a little bit better than that.
Rob Rose wants to take them on. Jacob Holmes nudges him further away from the hoop. Did it illegally. Free throws to come now for Rob Rose.
It's a tough shot. I think, you know, you bail him out here. Rob trying to turn the corner. Wasn't a whole lot in that either, by the looks of it. But Rob turning the corner. He had a little spurt there. I think he's going to make his free throws. I think you make him hit that shot. You don't foul him, put him on the line. Once he starts getting into Rob Rose mode here in the 4th, then start fouling it. But not before.
Adelaide restart. A little over 9 minutes to play. Jacob Holmes with a double team, needs support. Farley provides it. Rees wide open down on the baseline. Now they swing the ball around the perimeter. Pass for Rees, couldn't get past Casey Calvary, and John Riley scoops up the loose ball, and Townsville with another opportunity here. Riley takes it back from Rob Rose, looks for Brown baseline, worried out of the points by good D from the big man Paul Rees, and now Farley goes upstairs. Quick release shot, wouldn't tumble. Rose goes to Riley, decides to try his luck from deep up the front of the rim. Brown got the offensive rebound and the putback, so good communication there between Brown and Riley. Gets them the job done. And 9 is the margin with 8.5 minutes to play.
When Brown screens you out, you stay screened out, don't you?
Brett Maher wheeling into the paint, elevating, caught the back of the rim, and Paul Rees is going to be called for the foul here. That will be his 4th, just nudging into the back of an opponent.
I was waiting for the reaction. There's a pretty good chance when he makes a good play down underneath the basket, there's going to be a reaction. But, you know, you're talking about him screening out a bigger man. He walked.
Continuation waved off. And Adelaide will get possession. And they need to find an avenue to the basket. 9 is the margin. As Cooper goes on Rob Brown. Now Jacob Holmes. Confronted by Riley. Puts it on the floor as well. Turnaround jumper. It tumbles for Jacob Holmes. 17 in the game for him. His first points in this final period.
That's a high percentage shot, especially with a guard on his back, and really.
Rose comes up empty and Farley grabs the rebound. He's second in that category in the match. It's Farley and Maher combined. Farley goes to work on John Riley. Couldn't finish it. Riley helps himself to the rebound. And now Kelvin Robertson gets a good look but can't finish it. Holmes under pressure from Rob Rose eventually reels it in. End-to-end stuff at the moment. Been no let-up in what has been a fierce pace. Poor pass from Cooper. I presume it was intended for Farley. He was the nearest Adelaide player as Brown dribbles into trouble and has to retreat. Riley trying to shake Farley, getting a good screen from Calvary. Pass from Rose behind Riley, scooped up by Reichardt. 4-on-2 fast break for Adelaide. Jacob Holmes fires off balance. Maybe not the shot Adelaide were after, but now Townsville want to go quickly back the other way. Brown on Cooper. Did some good D, and an offensive foul is called on Rob Brown. His fourth for use of the armbar and getting rid of David Cooper. Well, that's going to thrill Ian Stacker.
Look at this. John really just ducked. This is the charge. And that left arm just giving him a look. There you go, David Cooper. Got the call. Don't get that much down in the block. Usually it's a small guard coming in, running.
Nice work from Dusty Reichardt. It opens up for the danger man. Farley can't hit the three, and now Adam Quick goes to work. Tregar in support, works it to him now from close range. They add the 2. 9 points the margin, 6.5 to play.
That's much better from Quick. Aggressive penetration, and he's great at always finding the open man.
Maher takes him on at the other end, draws contact but no whistle. Cooper was there for a long time, but he adds the 2 nonetheless. Adam Quick against Maher. Now it's Newley guarded by Holmes. Tregar against Reichardt. Spinning baseline. Nice finish as well from Cam Tregar, who now has 8 points in the game. Rob Brown sitting on the sidelines at the moment. Rob, this is going down to the wire again.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's just typical Townsville Adelaide basketball, huh?
You seem to be enjoying this competitive nature between these two clubs.
Yeah, I love it, but it'd be even better after 5:45 that Townsville have a victory. You know, so we got to keep playing hard, keep playing strong, keep playing together, and we'll get the victory.
Yeah, a couple more finishes. It just seemed like you're a little frustrated with a couple of those that haven't gone down.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Rob, thanks very much for that. We'll let you get to the timeout with the coach Ian Stacker. 5:45 left on the clock here. And it is Adelaide at the moment who lead by 11. They've led for 98% of this match or more.
You just wait around here, and then as soon as it gets to John or Brad, go and set the on ball, all right? The least favourite option is one bounce, shoot the 3. Try and get to the basket, all right? Then you got the other post there.
You two guys look to carry the ball, then come back and get the ball. So you get it second pass, not first pass, okay? Coops will be available anytime you're in trouble. Just keep your heads up. Make sure you come towards the ball. If you get caught in a double team, don't turn it over, just call a timeout. Now, here we go. We've got 3 to go. Here we go.
3 timeouts up his sleeve for Phil Smythe. Ian Stacker has 1 timeout left.
Give it up for the minor 10.
And we have 5:45 left on the clock here.
Have Adelaide really looked in danger? I know the score has gotten down to 2 or 3, but I mean, once they have that little bit of a warning or that scare, they've been able to just bump it up to 10 that quickly. and kind of that easily. They just looked in command this whole game.
Jacob Holmes sit down, replaced by Oscar Foreman. Townsville continue this road trip. They head to the Melbourne Tigers venue on Saturday night. And recommend all our Melbourne viewers get down to the cage for another exciting evening down there. The pass from Newley couldn't be reeled in by Cameron Tregar. Townsville turn it over again. That's number 14 in the match for them. Adelaide has committed 10 turnovers. But with a 12-point buffer, 5 and a bit minutes to play, Adelaide in the driver's seat at the moment. Riker had it knocked away by Casey Calvary. Now it's Maher milking the clock. Shot clock down to 5 as Farley elevates Clunk onto the backboard. Calvary with the rebound. Now it's Newley at the other end off the window, unsuccessfully. Townsville just not doing enough at the moment. Rob Rose isn't far away from checking back in. As Maher dribbles into trouble. The double team arrives. Good hands from Calvary. Stripped it away from David Cooper. And Quick has Newley available upstairs for the flush. How about that from the rookie?
A couple of questionable decisions by Newley, but I tell you what, he believes that he can get it done. Whether he's made a mistake or he's on a roll, he can make plays like that.
Cooper harassed by Tregar and Newley, gets it to Riker. Good D again from Calvary, who may have got a piece of that to make sure it was ineffective as a shot. Now it's Newley against Cooper. Torelli stepping inside Oscar Foreman, looking for Tregar, who appeared to be fouled by Cooper. No whistle. And Adelaide with another opportunity to build on this double-figure lead. It's Foreman from close range, overdid it. Reichart is there for the clean-up too. He now has 18 in the match.
And you just can't have that offensive rebound. John really didn't get a body on the D. That's a horrible pass.
Less than 4 minutes to play. Farley did well to reel that in and finish it off as well. 21 in the match for Farley. He leads all scorers, as he did on Saturday night with 32 in Townsville. And Ian Stacker burns his final timeout. 3:40 to play. Adelaide enjoy a 14-point lead, and Ian Stacker wants to get one last chance to try and resurrect the situation.
Well, this is the trouble with youth. You have a couple of bad plays, and then you can get something like this. So you tend to persevere with these young guys when they can make plays like that. Another look at it from another angle. Just explodes to the basket before the help defense can get there. Brad Newley.
You four, all right, you're always the trail postman coming and setting the on ball. All right, so Quicker will bring it up. Rob, Brad and John sort out who's got these hide spots. The other guy fill the other spot. All right, get the on ball and come off. And again, I don't want the one bounce through. That's wide open like the thing you had. All right, try and get into here and then make something happen. All right.
The two deep guys need to get in. These guys need to get one guy back. Right.
Up here, any on-ball screens, just switch them now. All right, listen, we're short. You have to block out and then run. All right, Crocs.
Farley. Willie, that is. Look at this. This is a bad pass. 2 bad passes in a row. But Willie Farley gets the right result. See him give his teammate a smile. He had them all turned around. Great catch to finish.
Looking to take Cooper on and does so. Eventually draws a whistle. First personal on Dave Cooper. Rose doing a good job persevering there.
2 shots.
A shooting foul was called out of all of that.
And the veteran having a laugh as he gets himself to the line. Forcing the contact. I wouldn't suggest any young guys around the league make that move and draw the contact and flip one up like that, because you won't get the call and you won't go to the line. You'll probably be going to the bench.
3.5 minutes left in the equation. Adelaide by 12, breaking down the pressure up the floor from Townsville. And Maher against Adam Quick. Off to Jacob Holmes, who has Newley to contend with. Shot clock now to single numbers as Holmes spins into the paint. Extra pass for Foreman, right on the money. And Oscar Foreman now has 7 points in the match. And Adelaide with a healthy buffer as we count down the last 3 and a bit minutes from Adelaide. Rose overcooked the quick release three, very deep with it. Maher has Farley ahead of him, Foreman joining in, but no need to rush anything at the moment with a 14-point lead.
That's right. In this situation, the clock is your friend.
Maher inviting Newley to take him on, which he obliges, and Maher casually helps himself to 2. 17 now for Brett Maher.
Probably doesn't look as tough to stop on television.
Crocs come up empty again, but they momentarily keep it alive. You need to be quick with your comments here in this game before they're superseded.
Yeah, they're going about it quick, and they're quick to make a turnover too.
Here's Cooper finding Jacob Holmes. Harassed by Newley, it spills to John Riley. Another chance for the Crocs. Newley got it from Adam Quick. A little bit of showtime as it tumbles, and he draws a whistle as well. Well, Brad Newley just showing Adelaide fans what might have been.
You know what I like about him, Case, is he had a couple of very poor, very bad mistakes. And normally kids will really drop their head, but that has not bothered him at all. Gets that dunk, makes a good, strong, aggressive play. Mentally, he's still right in this game, even though he's had a couple of poor decisions.
Cooper has Foreman down low. Shot rejected by Newley off the backboard. Should have been a goaltend called. Referees didn't see it that way, and now Jacob Holmes draws the foul. He's off to the free throw line.
How do you miss that call?
There it is again in replay. Phil Smythe looking for referee Jeff Weeks on an explanation. He's going to get one.
Yeah.
Getting the backboard. Hit the fucking ball on the way down.
Maybe I should ask Phil. How did they miss that call? It looked like a spike at the Olympics.
That was the question he was looking for the answer for. 15 the spread. Adelaide coasting. 100 seconds remaining. Kelvin Robertson for the triple. Unable to get a reply there. Long-range shooting hasn't been a strength for the Townsville Crocodiles in this one. Just 5 of 23. Incidentally, Adelaide have gone ice cold as well. They're 1 of 9 from long range since half-time. This is Riker trying his luck unsuccessfully. Rose, the outlet pass for Brown, who somehow kept it alive. Robertson for the triple. Caught the back of the rim, and now Brett Maher scoops up the loose ball to Farley. And Rob Rose is called for the foul. That will be his second. The free throws to come for the Adelaide 36ers.
Well, they're bound to have a blowout. As powerful as both of these teams' offenses are. And this one is definitely that. Adelaide just looked more aggressive. Got after rebounds a little bit harder. Just a little bit more desperation. Like we talked about in the opener case, it's the team that has a little bit more motivation after dropping one in Townsville. Adelaide had a little bit more motivation.
Good penetration again coming from Townsville. Finishing touches drag the equation back to 15 points the margin. 105-90 it is as Jacob Holmes sits down for the last 59 seconds.
Got him over the shoulder. Number 5.
Robert Brown picks up the foul. His 5th personal. More free throws to come. Just looking back through the history books, the last time, remembering these teams have played their last 8 matches by single-figure margins. Prior to that, 2nd of November 2001. Adelaide won here by 30. When Willie Farley had a game-high 40. And Paul Rees had 28.
What?
This is going back to a while. 17 the difference at the moment, which is close to the 18-point margin, which is the maximum that we've seen. As John really looks to restart to Brown, penetrating, again showing us some tricks and earning a trip to the free throw line. We like what we see here, Steve.
Boy, he will lean into you, that is for sure. Watch him just take this little hop, get in there, elevate upstairs. For such an aggressive player, he's quite the gentleman. His mannerisms, you know, after the play's over, it's all business, and then the whistle blows. He's probably as polite as any post player I've seen.
Michigan-born Rob Brown can't get the back end there. Foreman grabs the rebound off to Brett Maher. Needs help. Farley provides it. It took 7 of the allotted 8 seconds to get it over the halfway line, and then fed Dusty Reichert for the finishing touches. 20 now for Reichert to go with 13 rebounds. Adelaide have hammered Townsville on the boards as Brown goes to work once more, this time unsuccessfully, and Foreman feeds Darren Ing to Brett Maher. 18 is the margin. Farley retreating away from the hole, wanting to show Rob Rose his dribbling skills, can't hit the target. Reichert had it, lost it to Darren Ing. And Adelaide looking for the last play of the match. They lead by 18. Can they put some icing on the cake? Brett Maher's alley-oop for Foreman. It's the flush and the finish the Adelaide fans were after. They put an exclamation point on the match, and after losing up in Townsville on Saturday night, Adelaide get quick redemption, and they win it here impressively by 20 points. Full time from the distinctive Holmes Dome. It's Adelaide 111, Townsville 91 here on Fox Sports. Big last quarter from the Adelaide 36ers. They outscored Townsville 33-23. Get the job done in impressive fashion. The 20-point margin at the end of the match is the biggest at any stage. And Adelaide now with 2 wins from their 3 matches so far this season, and Townsville are reduced to 1-1 and must back up against the Melbourne Tigers at the cage on Saturday night. Steve Carfino standing by with one of the Adelaide heroes.
Well, JH is in the house this year. It looks like you're ready to step up. Good preseason tournament. And this game, it just seemed like you had mismatches the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate tonight. I think they had they usually had either a bigger guy on me or a smaller guy, so I was able to have a few mismatches, and there wasn't a great matchup on me tonight. So with a few more laps, we could have had 30. So, but it was a good game.
Well, it just seemed like last year you may have had a mismatch on you, but if you missed a couple of shots, you'd go away from it. But this year it seems like you just feel like you have the confidence to knock it down. Yeah,
I think after the preseason, I've got the confidence now to just keep going at it. If I've got a mismatch, I'm just going to keep milking it all game and not back off like last year. So hopefully it's a good improvement this year and helps the guys out.
You guys seem very focused on both ends of the floor in the first quarter. Obviously, that loss in Townsville stung a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, I guess we weren't robbed. We looked at it on tape. We weren't robbed, but it was very close. So we had a fair bit of passion coming tonight, a bit of motivation. So I think we came through, and it was a good win.
Whole team shooting the basketball with a whole lot of confidence.
Yeah, we are. I mean, during practice, it's the same thing. These new balls are great. I think the extra few lines on it make it a lot easier to shoot. So I mean, we're shooting it really well at the moment. So hopefully that continues through the season.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Steve.
There's Jacob Holmes with Steve Carfino. Jacob finishes with 21 points, including 6 in that final period. It was an excellent display from Jacob Holmes, but he had plenty of teammates who got the job done as well, notably Willie Farley's 25 points. And some spectacular work from Big Willie. He backs up after having a game-high 32 in Townsville on Saturday night. 25 here is good enough to lead all scorers in the match. And Willie Farley is going to be a force again this year. And the Adelaide 36ers fans will have smiles as broad as Willie's And Paul Rees may be Superman. I knew he was always busy on his off day. And Paul Rees, 9 points, a good haul for him tonight on 4 of 5 shooting. What's coming your way here on Fox Sports? Well, next up, we are going to be travelling to Wollongong, will be our next appointment, as the Hawks play host to the Brisbane Bullets. All the action coming your way, live and exclusive from 7:30 p.m. Eastern from the Sandpit this Saturday night. Hope you can join us for what should be a very tight tussle. Then we move to the Kingdome, and the reigning champs Sydney take on the Melbourne Tigers. That is going to be your next big Wednesday, October 15. Kings against the Tigers. Shane Hill is going to be in the house. Will have his singlet retired there. Big occasion, and we're looking forward to the new look Kings taking on Andrew Gaze and the team. That is big Wednesday next week. That is all we have for you, though, here from Adelaide. The 36ers, after losing by 3 in Townsville on Saturday night, win here handsomely by 20. At full time, it's 111.91, and we'll see you soon.
This has been a